welcome to the Police Accountability Board meeting. It is Wednesday, August 26, 2026. It is now 6:30 and the meeting is commenced. First part of the meeting is the roll call. Can we take a roll call, please?
Ms. Justice,
Present.
Mr. Jones, Ms. Baroni,
Present.
Ms. Benedict,
Present.
Mr. Cedar,
Present.
Mr. Green,
Present.
Mr. Johnson,
Present.
Ms. Lister,
Present.
Ms. Parker.
Present.
Chairperson Justice, we have 8 members present, 1 absent. We have a quorum.
Thank you. My clicker isn't working.
Okay.
It worked now. Got it. Must have heard me. Everybody's had a chance to look at the agenda. Any questions, additions? Do I hear an approval of the agenda?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The agenda is approved as written. This summer, we had a PAB and an ACC refresher with the Police Standards and Training Commission up in Sykesville. One day was a PAB and one was the ACC. A lot of the things that they went over are roles and responsibilities of each. The Police Accountability Board looks forward. The Administrative Charging Committee looks backwards. They're looking at complaints, what happened, why, how. And the Police Accountability Board looks forward, saying, now what, is there any recommendations that we can make to the Sheriff's Office to assist? There was a lot of discussion on different things that have been going on within the counties as far as amount of complaints and how some of these complaints are handled. At our last month ACC meeting, we asked that the Sheriff's Office have their professional standards group come in and do a presentation to the ACC. They are the ones who receive the complaints, and then they start with all of their investigation, talking to witnesses, talking to the complainant, looking at body cams, going through reports, and this takes time. But they came in and they explained a lot of the process, how it works, so that it was a little clearer for everybody in the ACC as to how they come up with all of the material that they provide to the ACC. And that was Captain Jones and Sergeant Livingston that came in and worked on that. Captain Jones is in charge of the office professional standards, and he's the one that works with his group to make sure that everything is investigated properly. And then, of course, when they're done with it, they forward it on up through the chain of command for review before it comes to HR for the ACC. Any questions on that?
You can just say next slide if it's not working.
Oh, okay, because it's just not clicking.
Also, Chairperson, Mr. Jones has joined online.
Okay, great, thank you. We have a new legal counsel, and they are working with the PAB and the ACC. His name is Skip Cornbrooks. He's out of Baltimore. So at this point, unfortunately, he's not here this evening, but he sat in on the ACC meeting and is able to provide any legal guidance And that's the only thing that a lawyer is there for, is to provide any legal guidance if we have questions.
It's an awesome name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next slide. PAB complaints and cases from November 20th. Remember, we changed everything to start. The new year starts November 20th and ends November 19th. So November 20th through August 19th is 31. Complaints that were eligible for review, 5. Cases reviewed by the ACC is 32. And a lot of those were from last year. Cases pending ACC review, 5. Cases resulting in administrative charges, 5. And ACC charge and agreement with Calvert County Sheriff's Office findings was 5. Questions? Next slide. Here you can see it's kind of broke out in a little bit of a graph, but it's the exact same information. There was a Maryland State Police case. We do not have authority over them, so that case then gets forwarded on to the Maryland State Police. Next slide. We hold a quarterly meeting with the Sheriff's Office, and that has the chair of the PAB, the chair of the ACC, and HR. And basically that's to work with them if there's any questions they may have or concerns they may have on how either board is working, and also if we have any questions. And generally it comes out very productive. There's certain things that are discussed and clarified, so that helps with the ACC meetings. We've been talking about the community outreach for a year. A lot of calls were made the beginning of this year and no response provided back. But thankfully to one of our board members, Anthony Green, he was able to coordinate with North Beach, is it Town Council?
Yeah, Town Hall.
Town Hall.
Council.
On September 10th, and then Chesapeake Beach on September 17th. So we're going to provide the PowerPoint for the outreach to both towns prior to, and then give a brief discussion as to what the boards are and how they work, and if there's any questions then. We're also working on a flyer or brochure type to be able to hand out. Don't think it'll be to that meeting, but we're hoping to have it by the fair. We're also looking to see if the public library has a booth or a table at the fair, and I'm not sure whether they do or not. So we're going to try to get that flyer out there as well. Next slide. You can see here, this is one of the trending, and this goes back to the beginning of July 2022. So at this point, you can see there are 31 complaints that have come in for this year. 28 of them, 6 of them, sorry, the ACC has reviewed, and we found 8 policy violated. Next slide. These are complaints by district. And remember, we have 4 districts. And the north is 1, middle is central area is 2, southern is 3, and then you have Twin Beach is 4. So you can see those numbers. And again, The central is where the majority of the people are, either going through to north to south or doing a lot of their shopping. So it's pretty normal for that to be a lot higher. And these numbers are from July of 2022 as well. Next slide. This is the calls of service versus the complaints. And the calls of service from November 20th to August 19th was 84,883. So there were 31 complaints, which puts it at 0.04%. They have 175 law enforcement officers currently, and do I remember correctly, Sheriff, you've got 5 vacancies? Correct, okay. So there's not always a reason for complaints to increase. It just happens. So their complaints are up a little bit. But as you can see from the previous trends, we're not finding them administratively charged. They are exonerated from the complaint. Questions?
No, ma'am.
Next slide. Next would be Sheriff. Are you all ready?
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Hopes everybody's summer's going well. Thanks for being here tonight. Again, I would like to thank you guys and Susan Justice for the job that you guys have done. We communicate with a lot of the boards throughout the state, with the chief of police and the sheriffs throughout the state, and you guys are well organized and have really set the bar of what a PAB and an ACC looks like. So that communications, I think, is great for us, the way we get through meetings, and makes my office better, and it makes this process better as well. I'd just like to say thank you again.
Thank you.
Through the second quarter of this year, calls for service is 27,009 calls. So those deputies are out there working hard, protecting you. As you can see, the complaints in there with 27,000 calls, very minimal in my eyes. And we take every complaint seriously, as you've seen, everybody has seen on this board, the information that we do give you. And the traffic citations, 1,086, and the traffic warnings, 5,735. And the traffic crash investigated is 452 with 61 DUI arrests. Again, that we work hard each and every day out there with our roadways. As we get more populated, as new houses are going up throughout Prince Frederick, our roads haven't gotten any better. So I've asked people to stay off their phones, obey the speed limits best they can. I know they're in a hurry to get to work, but we would appreciate that. We have a lot of young drivers out there as well on the streets. As school is getting started, worked out very smooth. Some of the buses were late, but we worked through the kinks on that. But the buses are out there, so we asked the public to be aware of all the bus stops and the buses running their routes as school begins. I'm proudly announced that we have the SRO program started, which is 98% fully staffed. We didn't get the money until July, so we're working through another position, so we have every school covered. And we worked well through that. It was a lot of training crammed in there, and getting those deputies DARE certified to get DARE back into the school. So we're very glad that happened, and thank you to commissioners and our school board of ed of allowing that to happen. And I went through the schools the first day, and they do a lot there. The job, it's the tasks there are different than a regular patrol deputy or detective. And they're role models in the schools. You can see it in the hallways. They know their names, and it's a good thing to have. And our county is blessed to have deputies in our schools, so I'm glad to see that. And lastly, I'd like to report that we have the CALEA certification. We brought it back home from Nebraska. We had to go out there for our hearing, and we got nothing but positive reviews with CALEA coming on board. They came to our office, went through all of our manual, went through our policy, went through our procedures, and we got all positive ratings in there, and we cleaned up a lot of things that we needed to as far as that goes in our manual and stuff like that, and it was a really good process, and I'm glad to have that back on board. So
That's a lot of work, and
Yeah,
congratulations on that.
congratulations.
yeah, it was a 2.5 year process. It was, it's a lot of it, on the national standard where they're very thorough, and we're back on board, so we're back to the gold standard. So it not only that process was long, but it helps me as well. So
Now, the process, that has to be renewed every 3 years?
yeah, we have an online renewal every year, and then every 4 years you have an on-site. So every year we have a renewal, and then every 4 years is an on-site assessment. And they go through our property rooms, to our different bureaus, to our K-9 units, to our detectives, to our patrol staff too as well. And it was a long process, and like I said before, it's kind of uneasy, kind of somebody coming in your house and inspecting it, right?
Yes.
My military experience, and we had a lot of that, but somebody coming into your house looking at every little thing, I mean, it was nerve-wracking, but we got through it, and we had nothing but positive feedback, and I give that, all that credit back to my staff that got us there. So
Definitely. That's fantastic.
I couldn't have did it without them.
Yeah, a lot of hard work.
That's all I have to report this second quarter.
I did want to say also, the Citizens Police Academy is excellent, and I would recommend that to anybody, people on the board or any citizens. It really opens up your eyes to what our sheriff department does, the different departments, the different entities that are involved within the departments. It was extremely impressive. All of your guys that did any of the presentation were just fabulous and willing to answer any questions anybody had. It was a great experience. And I thank you for putting that out there and kind of pushing to take it, because I really learned a lot, and I thank you for that.
And I encourage everybody, the ACC and the PAB, to do that, because sometimes you have questions in your meetings and you're going through the investigations, and you may have, now you have a firsthand knowledge of what happens or what we do or how we do it. And also, we just had through that class, we had a younger individual went through the class, and I think we're hiring him. So he went through the class, and he should be at our tryout. We have one September 3rd, Thursday morning, for our vacancy positions. So if anybody's willing, they want to do the job and wear the badge, come out Thursday.
Great.
And thank you for going through it. I know you guys enjoyed it, and we're going to run those annually right now, every March. So it should be out to the public January, February, to get signed up for that.
Yeah, I highly recommend it to anybody, because it really gives a shot of what your department is and what it does. And it's by far beyond driving on the streets and patrolling. I didn't realize a lot of it.
Yeah, summer's coming to a close. You always, summer's coming. You always people in the street, more people flowing through the county, visiting our beaches and summer activities and stuff like that. But summer went well. All of our major cases, our primary cases, are pretty much closed. So I think the detectives and the patrol deputies did a very nice job with that. So moving on to the fall.
Great. Then comes winter
Yeah.
and the holidays.
Correct. Yes, we're embracing. We're getting all the holiday patrols set up for that as well, in our shopping center. So.
Yeah, definitely. Any questions? Yes, sir.
I think Mr. Jones may have a question. Mr. Jones, you're muted.
Awesome. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, awesome. Hey, Sheriff, good evening. Thank you for the update for the quarter. I wanted to ask, I heard you say that there were 5 schools that still didn't have a resource officer assigned yet. Did you share, I didn't hear you share which schools those were. And then, Susan, I did have a question about our report, specifically the trending analysis. When we talked about district or all those numbers, are we talking about for the entire period so far, or are those complaints reviewed per district? Is that for this quarter alone?
Those trends are from day one, from July
Gotcha.
1 of
Thank you.
2022.
2022. Gotcha. Okay. Just wanted to make sure that I'm reflecting it right in my notes. And so, yeah, Sheriff, did you say which schools those were?
Yeah, we have one school covered. So we have contract positions that we have available, and we have an interview set for Tuesday for that person that we really like. That's gonna fill that position, hopefully.
We have all schools covered. We had one that was, didn't make it to the background, so we had to shift to the next person, which has kind of delayed us a little bit. So we have one deputy that we still need to hire, but all schools are covered. We just have one school covered by two deputies that are close together. We typically don't put out which ones we have and don't have, because that's probably not a good thing to do.
So that's I guess that's what I was trying to get to, and thank you for clarifying that. It sounded like there were schools that were not covered.
Yeah, no, all the schools are covered, and we just have one position we still need to hire. So, and it looks like we're in the last little stages of that. We just have to button that thing up early next week, and hopefully we can get him right in school, and then we're good.
I tell you, Maryland is really putting the.
Thank you both.
When you're trying to hire a deputy, a lateral deputy, I mean, Maryland has really the way different agencies are doing things, the way law enforcement officers leave that agency. It's really it's very lengthy, if that makes sense.
Used to be much easier.
Yes.
So now they're making us, if a person leaves a different agency, you have to do a hearing. So it's a long process up there, which, it's some of the agency's fault, and some, again, trying to hire another deputy from a different could cause some issues. And you want to put the right person in a school. You don't want to put it's a unique position. That's all I can say about that. And
Definitely.
it is. The deputies will even tell you that. I'd expect the job to be like this when I took it, but they embrace it, they like it, and you hear from the parents, the students, and the staff at the schools. And it's going to be, I know there's going to be, like anything, it's always going to be, some issues along the way, but we'll work through them. So.
Now, they are the ones that teach the DARE program?
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, that's good.
They do now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
They'll teach it throughout the year. I think it's very important to teach our kids at a very young age what drugs looks like, long-term, short-term effects to you, your friends, or your family, right? And also, too, they teach decision-making model in DARE to defeat bullying, peer pressure, how to make a decision. So that's a very important lesson I feel that in DARE that the kids need. So.
Yes, definitely. And I think all the kids that took it way back, they still remember. So it was an impact.
I still tell that story. Keith Hicks was my DARE teacher, and he still works with us today. So he's the reason why I wear the uniform, my 5th grade class. So,
Yeah.
yep. They look up to him. I mean, there's always going to be some bad encounters, but I think the deputies work through them. I work with the families as well. If we get a threat to the school, they're right there at the school to validate that threat. And I think that's very important. And that alleviates patrol, right? Because that, 5 years ago, the patrol deputy's going to do that with stacking calls 10 to 12 deep, and then you got to go figure out this thing because you don't want that to roll over to the next school day. So
They actually go to the students' houses and do threat assessments and things like that. So people ask about that a lot, and our SROs do that because they're tied to it. So.
But then the school bus is a whole different beast too, so we get a lot of that stuff as well. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff happens on the school bus, so be respectful, teach your kids that if you can. And if you see something, say something.
Right. Right. Well, school buses have cameras on.
They do, most of them.
Yeah.
Correct.
I have a question about going back to Kalia. Now that you guys are certified, will that open up more doors for funding possibly?
Not necessarily funding directly, but we use it in our grant writings a lot of times, so
Yeah.
indirectly probably. More importantly, we have the ability to, coordinate with a bunch of other agencies that we normally wouldn't, and sometimes that results in training back and forth and things. We'll provide some training for an agency that we have, and, for free, and then we'll go to their training, that kind of thing. So indirectly, yeah.
Speaking of training, one of the things that was mentioned in the Citizens Police Academy was that you do training for other counties.
We do that quite a bit. I don't know if you're speaking specifically about our canine, we have a canine trainer that's pretty renowned, actually. He teaches people from all the way up in the federal government in D.C. to some of the Navy teams to St. Mary's. Anyway, recently here in the last 2 years, we kept training the St. Mary's deputies. So we've kind of made a trade-off. They pay for half his salary now, and those guys train over here half-time. So we benefit, we get to benefit half of his salary, and they were here anyway, so
Right.
they're getting the training. So.
Right.
And we do a lot of that with other areas as well.
Did you guys ever make it to our academy during the classroom? Yes, so we have a Tri-County Academy. Charles, St. Mary's, and Calvert Sheriff's offices go to the same academy. So we are tasked with different instruction, and we all teach there as well too. So our deputies are teaching there a lot, and then they come through our facilities too and train as well.
And what was the certificate or presentation that you got with PAX? I just happened to briefly see that.
Oh, so we had the air show they brought back at PAX. They had a flux of 80,000+ people that weekend. Our county, St. Mary's County as well, and we utilized our command bus for that their dispatch and their Navy personnel to coordinate all that. It was a lot of coordination that went into that with traffic and where that air show was set up, but it seemed to work out well. And we train with them as well too, the Navy staff that they have over there.
Really?
Yeah, we have a pretty good relationship with them.
That's good. You need that.
We do, and plus we have the Navy base in the beach, and then the two power plants that we have in our county too as well. So
Yeah.
we have a lot going on in our little small county. So it'll keep you up at night.
Definitely. Any other questions?
No question.
I thank you very much for
Thank you.
taking the time and coming.
Thank you for your time.
And
Thank you all. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you all.
Have a good
Thank you, Mr.
evening.
Jones.
Appreciate it. Take care.
Have a good evening.
See you now.
See you.
The last meeting of the PAB quarterly meeting will be on December 2nd because it would fall the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, so it's always moved to that first week in December. It'll be here, starts at 6:30, and all are welcome to attend. Are there any additional questions or discussions anybody might have?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Everybody good? Is there any,
Public comment.
is there any public comment?
We have no members of the public in person or online.
All right, thank you. If there are no other comments, then do I hear a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I move to adjourn.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you all for attending.
Have a good-
When you